Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, so Pinterest just dropped its latest earnings report, and honestly, the numbers tell a really interesting story. Let's dig in and figure out what's really driving their growth, and maybe get a peek at what's coming next.
All right, let's get right to it. The big question, right? For a platform that's all about inspiration and beautiful pictures, is it actually profitable? Can you make a real business out of that?
Oh yeah, the answer is a big, resounding yes. In just the third quarter of 2025, Pinterest brought in over $1 billion in revenue. And get this, that's a 17% jump from this time last year. So yeah, they've definitely got some serious momentum going.
And where does all that money come from? Well, it's built on a huge global community that just hit a brand new milestone. We're talking 600 million people using Pinterest every single month. That is a massive audience. So let's talk about those 600 million people. Who are they? Where are they? Because you really can't understand the business without first understanding the users, right?
And you can see it right here. The growth has been just incredibly consistent. It's like clockwork. For the last couple of years, it's just been this steady upward climb quarter after quarter, leading right up to that 600 million user milestone we just saw. But, okay, this is where the story gets really interesting. It's not just that the number is going up, it's where it's going up. If you look at the US and Canada, things have kind of plateaued, pretty much flat. But look at the rest of world. That's the real growth engine. We're talking explosive growth. It seems like they're tapping into new international markets that are just hungry for this kind of visual platform.
Okay, so you've got this huge, growing international audience. The next question is, how do you actually make money from all those people? How do you turn those eyeballs into dollars, especially without killing that inspiration vibe that makes Pinterest, well, Pinterest? Let's look at the engine.
Everything starts with this one metric, the MAU. It stands for monthly active user, and it's super simple. It's just a person who uses Pinterest at least once in a month. That's it. This is the bedrock metric, the foundation for everything else.
Okay, so you've got your MAUs. The next piece of the puzzle is ARPU, average revenue per user. And this one is crucial. It basically answers the question, how much money is Pinterest making from each person on average? It's the metric that shows us how good they are at actually turning all that browsing into cash.
And wow, look at this. The money story perfectly mirrors the user growth story we just saw. The real action is happening internationally. I mean, the US and Canada grew by 9%, which is, it's solid. But Europe, 41% growth. And the rest of the world, a whopping 66% year over year. This is huge. It means they're not just getting more users overseas, they're getting way, way better at making money from them.
So you might be wondering, how did they pull that off? How do you grow revenue that fast? Well, their strategy is actually pretty fascinating. It's a tale of two numbers. They didn't raise the price of ads. Nope, they actually lowered the average price per ad by 24%. But, and this is the key, they cranked up the volume of ads by a massive 54%. It's a classic volume over price strategy, and for them, man, it is paying off.
All right, but growth like this doesn't just happen, right? You got to spend money to make money. So let's follow the cash. Where is Pinterest investing? Where are they placing their bets for the future?
Okay, so look at this breakdown of their spending. The biggest slice of that pie by a long shot is R&D, research and development. We're talking almost 38%. That tells you everything you need to know about their priorities. They are pouring money into making the product better, smarter. Think better AI for recommendations, more shoppable pins, new features. They are absolutely investing in the future of the platform itself.
And if you drill down a little deeper, what does all that R&D and sales spending really mean? Well, it's pretty simple. It's people. They're hiring. They're bringing on more engineers to build all that cool new stuff, and they're hiring more sales and marketing folks to go after that huge international opportunity. It's a straight-up investment in their team.
Now, it can't all be sunshine and roses, right? Every company has risks, and it's super important to look at the challenges ahead. So let's talk about what's on the horizon for Pinterest, the things that could trip them up.
And they're pretty clear about the big three. First up, competition, and it's brutal. They're in a ring with absolute heavyweights. We're talking Meta, Google, TikTok, Amazon, all fighting for the same eyeballs and ad dollars. Second, there's AI. It's a massive opportunity for sure, but it's also a huge risk if you fall behind or can't control it. And finally, data privacy. With all the new regulations and changes from Apple and Google, it's getting harder and harder to do the kind of ad tracking they rely on.
So how do they plan to navigate all that? This quote from their own report, it's really revealing.
They're basically saying, look, our mission to be a positive, inspiring place on the internet comes first, even if that means making less money in the short run. In today's tech world, that is a really bold statement to make.
And that leaves us with the big lingering question, doesn't it? In an online world that's dominated by giants, a world that often chases engagement at all costs, can a platform built on a mission of inspiration not just survive but actually thrive? Can being the nice guy of social media actually be a winning strategy long term? That's the real story we'll be watching in the coming quarters.